show off.
148, something like that. I'm should make it close, I guess.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
It's very high, regardless of the exact number, right?
And I don't think anyone's ever going to check you on your math.
And some bias on the other side of things, right? This was the third and fourth game that they've had here. He wasn't that good in the first two games, but he really stepped up in the last two series that they played to secure them that #1 spot. You can see the opening duels. He's dominated Searson and OC in that department, right? Not necessarily head-to-head, but in terms of just overall impact. Multi-kill rounds were there. Just the amount of frags as well in that Liquid series.
Revelation of this group, definitely. I also know that Maui spoke about him maybe 3-4 months ago, but his Fun Sparkle or some event like that, and he said like this guy is pretty good, and he's gonna be like showing that like how good he is. And right now in Pro League, one of the biggest tournaments of the season right now, and then he delivered a astonishing performance.
Astonishing.
Yes.
Just absolutely.
I've been reading my vocabulary books.
Nice. Vocabulary books.
Dictionaries.
Yes, we'll have to go. We'll go see if we can find those coloring books for you a little bit later. Hey, no. So this is what it looks like today. You might be wondering, hey, wait, there's 3 games going on at one time. What the hell is this nonsense? Well, that's because at the last day of every group, it works out like that. So for competitive integrity, however you want to put it, it doesn't quite matter. We've got 3 games going on today, and that's what you need to know. It's going to be Players and Liquid here on the A stream, and then we're looking a little bit of Godsent and Big over there on the secondary, the B stream they call it, and then the C stream. What can they expect with the movie star and the party astronauts? Kassad.
Well, Movistar is going to go for that 5-0 and additional points, world ranking, CPT points, money, everything. They don't want to be at 5-0. You know, they're straight to the quarterfinals anyway, but they should be going for it. And the main
just
game,
heading on a high, right?
Yeah, the main game for today is the one that's going to be seeing here is going to be Players against Liquid for that number 2, number 3 spot, and obviously also the points, the ranking, and everything else. It should be an interesting game because nobody has anything to lose here except for the $5,000. And they're going to be playing some relaxed CS.
End the game.
Now.
Yeah. Well, okay, so check this out. We got groups A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, however the hell you want to put it. Doesn't matter. Top 3 from each group do advance on into that playoff bracket. So if you're a NIP, if you're a Furia, and currently if you're a Movie Star Rider, it's looking pretty damn good, Yanko.
Absolutely, Trace, and looking a little bit forward to Group D, you want to try, like, if you're one of the favorites, like, if you're Navi, you don't want to slip up in this group. Like, you want to be the first seed because you might end up having to play, Ents has been looking really good phases in that round of 12, Liquid and Players as well. These are some amazing things that you definitely want to meet as late as possible in the bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the bracket
I think
play.
also for this one, right, like Liquid versus Players, like Shiro and OC, they're the 2 highest rated players of this whole tournament so far, right? Like 1 and 2, then you have at 5 and 6, I think, or 4 and 5, Hobbit and Elir. So there's a lot of like firepower here that, will be interesting to see how everything unfolds.
You know what's more interesting to me? And I've just got to throw this one out there. I went to the store and I picked up a pair of shoes. Turns out Kassad liked them too, so he went and bought them on his own. Anyway,
actually, I bought them on the first day when we came here. He's
offended by that?
Well, anyway,
it's just the copying. So just
you guys cool or
all
right. Look, so it's our 1x bet predictions, and this is the talent predictions. So why don't we go ahead and open the box? I don't want to hear what's in the box. Nah, we don't need that. It's not necessary today. But yes, please do pass out the cards, and let's see what you got. Give a couple to Yanko. Oh, cool, nice.
Oh, you gave me yours, Kassad. That's nice.
Let's start with Kassad's pick then on Yanko.
Let's see what Kassad went for. He went for Liquid and Players. Safe bet. Worked out great.
I don't usually bet, but when I do, it's pretty safe.
Okay, fair enough. Who do you got?
I got Heku.
Okay, now Heku has been down there in tournament floor. She's a sideline reporter, in case you didn't know.
Let's see, Heku, Players, and BIG.
Ooh, she bit the big bait.
Oh, she went for the hometown favorites, right?
And for
that's a mistake.
Mr. Yanko Paunovic, right here. It's right here. The Oscar goes to. Ouch.
Careful there, cowboy.
Players and Liquid for Yanko. He's done it. Good job. Good, absolutely good.
What is your favorite one? Right here.
Okay, go ahead, Yanko. Who do you got?
I have Maui. I thought that said Navi for a second. I have Maui, and he had, of course, Big. His favorite team, the one he predicts is going to be top 5. They're not through. And Liquid, so 1 of 2 at least for Maui.
Nice. So we'll put them in the other pile. Kassad, go on with your bad self.
Chad. Sponge.
Virtual.
Players and BIG.
A lot of big faith.
Why are there so many big fans? What's wrong with people?
A lot of big faith. Now, I've got Alan Hinder, who may have failed to render. We're going to find out right now. Let's see. Yes, he also took the big bait. That's going to be Alan Hinder
man.
with a big. So many big.
I think
picks.
Maui just like, you know, contaminated everyone. Poisoned them.
One way to do it. Who do you got?
Well, here's a shout out, a special one to Alex Machine Richardson, because he had Movie Star Riders, which is no one had, right? So that's that's worth extra points.
Nice one,
Had
Alex.
big as well, but
Look who I got.
oh no, Stana.
Jesus Christ, man.
I didn't even thought you didn't
Who's
take
gonna
the card
pick all
out.
this up?
You are.
He is.
So
Can you read that? You need some help.
Players in Liquid.
Wow, crazy that.
2 for 2.
Oh my goodness, who would have known? I didn't pick big, and well, I don't regret
We
anything.
missed one, and that's Bleh.
We didn't miss one. We've got another one here, but you go ahead. What's Bless?
There's one more there.
Hey, you can go.
No, you go ahead, man.
Oh, ladies first.
No, but you first.
Okay. Liquid and players. Bleh, come on.
Smart guys. Everybody on the same page. Now, Anders, I don't know what page he's usually on any given day of the week. In fact, most days that end in Y, I couldn't tell you where his brain is. But in our 1x bet prediction, he went players versus Godsent. So, or players and Godsent. Wow.
Wow.
The Godsent long shot right there. That's quite the idea.
I was
think he's
going to
just going
read
for
this
the
one,
followers.
but I was going to read this one, but I'm going to give it straight to you.
Okay.
Oh yeah, your colleague.
I mean, we all kind of colleagues at this
Well, you know, in the same role.
Yeah.
Right.
Paula
So,
P.
this is from Paula Gilroyson from Paula Land, or wherever he's from. Smart gentleman, it seems. Players and Liquid.
Safe bet.
Paula. Now, I did ask, or rather kind of show some worry to where Anders' brain is normally, so it's only fair that we just check in and find out where Anders' brain is today. He happens to be with Maui Snake. They're down there in Dusseldorf with the players in the tournament going on. Anders, nice shirt.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know where my brain is going. I've been looking for a long time, but I'm functioning fine without it. I think it's overrated, actually. So just don't worry about the brain side.
That's a lot of mass that you're going to be missing. So do you feel lighter without it?
Exactly. Yeah, it's no problem.
Okay.
You know, any kind of collision thing, like I'll be you
Right.
know, no neck damage.
You
It's
should
gonna be
just
good.
play American football then.
There we go.
You're never going to get hurt.
I think God's. Listen. I just also like Brazilian Counter-Strike. Maybe I'm a little bit colored by that. I like MIBR as well these days. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff that's happening there. So maybe I was a little bit persuaded by that. But you managed to wreck the whole field with convincing everyone with big.
Apparently, I'm contaminating people. That's how Yanko's putting it. We'll see if I can keep doing that. I'm gonna just keep selling big, and big's gonna keep propping me up. You know, it's a nice relationship we have. us Germans.
All right.
Guten Tag.
Right. Well, hopefully they appreciate it. I want to get into this game. Please, boys, take it away.
No, Anders. Oh, no.
I love how Maui just low-key told Anders he has a big head.
Hey, man, you should play American football. All right, so our EPL meme review. I hate when you try to figure out EPL scenarios and tiebreakers and you accidentally transform into Doctor Strange. I think there's a lot of truth to that, Yanko. It can get a little dicey, can get a little confusing.
It can, especially when you have people who are so meticulous that they account for that 0.0001% scenario, and then you say they've made the top 3. You say, well, actually, there's this one scenario in which if Party Astronauts win both their games 2-0 and Movie Star doesn't win a single round ever again in their lives, they cannot qualify. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, so much.
It must be a lot of fun at parties.
I mean, just trying to account for it all, and, you know, we love accountability up here. So what we do is
I love accountants.
continue on with the @Depresso Latte coming back in.
What?
Okay. Kassan, break this meme down for
Yeah, I
us.
don't know. I'm scared to do this, to be quite honest.
You could say it. It's fine.
No, what is this spermy thing? I don't get it.
Oh, man. @Depresso Latte. Basically saying,
Why is Alex on top of
okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of truth to this one. Just lucky GG. So it's a David Goliath versus story. And that's what we know about.
We have a couple of those, it seems like, with Kassan every week.
every other day even, man. Who knows? Nonetheless, this one's a good submission. What else do we got going on here in the old EPL meme review bank? This was for you, Yanko. What's going on?
James, after watching Movie Star Riders save for the 6th time in a 3vx, write that down.
That's an animated meme. I haven't seen that before.
there was that weird game that happened, but I still think James is the king of saving.
He's definitely earned the title over the years. Now, for the oh my god! Now, for the movie coming to a theater near you, this is going to be The Caster Curse, and it's going to be it's basically about the true story of the haunting of Harry, or
the true story of Harry haunting all of us.
Exactly that.
That's made up.
That's what it is. I mean, you can't unsee it once you've seen it. But yes, if you did not get a chance to see that little skit that they put on down over there, then you've missed out on some absolute gold, gentlemen. Meme review aside, do we go with the one that Kassad got, the one where he didn't know what was going on?
I think so, because the reaction it kind of drew, right? The movie poster is good as well, but the skit is already out there, right? The skit is like the meme in itself.
That it is. And for us, the memes stop here. We actually going to go to a break so that we can go into the first game of the day. And the only game at that. Holy cannoli. Team Liquid taking on players? You wouldn't believe it if I painted it on the wall for you, which is essentially what we just did with the past 15 minutes of our lives. We're going to go to a break, and we hope you join us when we come back. You're watching ESL's 15th season of Pro League, y'all.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
Your destiny, slay your enemy, raise a legacy. No more apologies, trust your abilities, gather the energy. Pull yourself back together, been staying off track forever. Child of the nation, go seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Reverse the tendency, fight the entropy, channel your rivalry. You're praying for fortune to come, you're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, get back your back now, keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes.
It's a leash. He's at the backside of Catwalk. He can see players pushing him. He's spinning back and forth. A League electric hold.
Looking to complete the sweep. Team Liquid have looked excellent here on Overpass.
And the lead. Oh my God. He just executes them. heading to OT. 100 Thieves, they had the advantage. They had Team Liquid right where they wanted them. Flashbang in, and they try and pop out on the back of it. And Liege opening it up. Go on, bud. There it is, number 4.
It's about to get real cool over here towards their ramp.
Doesn't work out, but there's Elise. You said you wanted to see him. T3000 on the map. We've seen a lot of him. That's stunning from Elise. That's the big dog you want.
They're still down there, and now the spray. The murder box.
Oh, it's Liquid v the players. We're ready to get this one underway. Never skipping a beat around here. That's for damn sure. I've got Kassad and Yanko here alongside of me. My name's Trace. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. And now it's nice to get into the game. One best of 3 for us today across 3 streams simultaneously. So a whole lot of Counter-Strike getting played. Now, guys, we know the outcome of the group. We know top 3. We know bottom 3. But what we don't know is about the seeding going forward into the playoffs. And this game alone will determine it, Yanko.
Yeah, whoever wins between players and Team Liquid gets the number 2 seed, an extra $5,000 as well, and some bragging rights. I think actually that, not necessarily bragging rights, but, you want, especially if you're Liquid, like they played better here, they had better results than a couple of previous tournaments. They were unfortunate at IEM, they had to play FaZe, Navi, or no, G2 Navi or FaZe Navi in their first 2 games, lost those games, right? So I think they want to keep that good momentum going and like build some confidence with a win over players as well.
And I can imagine that is what Mr. Canella is going to say right here and right now. Nitro, they call him on the streets, but what does Heku have to say to him?
Hey everybody, I'm here with Nitro, the IGL of Team Liquid. Nitro, so far your team has been doing really good, but you personally, are you satisfied with your team's performance so far?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like, obviously, our goal here coming here was just to make the playoffs and just do as best we can, and we made that goal so far. So, this match today just is a seeding match and just like for extra money. So, we so prepared the same, and we're hoping for a good result.
But what about your own performance? Because you were kind of like absent from the scene for a little bit, and do you feel like that at the point that where you're right now is the point where you left?
It's a little hard to say right now individually because the game is so different. Just like all the players, like the skill, like ceiling or floor just kind of went up, it seems. So I would say I feel like I'm in a good spot individually, but obviously I can be a lot better, and that's what I'm working for. But as a team, I'd say we're in a pretty good spot right now.
But what actually changed like during that time, like where we all gone? Like was it like the meta, like, and now you just need to get used to it, or is it like something more like mechanical?
A little bit of both, I would say, because I feel like there's a lot of like new players in the scene, and just like the way people are like approach these maps and stuff, it's like it's just different with like the CT sides because like of the A1S and stuff. Like people just started playing the game differently because the A1S is a little OP right now, and they just like it seems like people have like more like protocols, I guess, and just better aim. Really, like honestly, that's how I feel. And obviously, like I'm still like trying to get used to like everything because it's been like a year and a half. So it's been a work in progress, but I think I'm pretty up to date, I would say, and we're just gonna keep on getting better.
Well, you still have like one more team to face today. You're going to play against players, and there are actually some similarities between you and players because you both ban Nuke. You also like Dustil, Mirage, and Ancient. Do you feel that it's easier or harder to prepare and play against them just because like you have like a similar map pool?
I'd say it's easier because we have a lot more solutions on these set maps, right? Like, because we have a similar map pool, we feel like we have more answers, and I think their style is going to be a unique one, obviously, and I think it should be a close game, but we'll just kind of have to see how it goes, but I think we're confident.
Looking forward to seeing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you're exactly right on that note, Yanko, for Nick and company to come in here and do what they're doing. These are the confidence-building matches they needed, Kassad.
Yeah, first of all, Nitro coming back into this CS, right, after a year and a half of Valorant, it's difficult enough, right? He needs to figure out himself how he needs to play. He needs to figure out how the team needs to play and adjust, and all this like the follow up the current meta right now. And it's not so easy. Obviously, he needs a lot of help from Adrian and the rest of the coaching staff, and something from from his team, like a secondary or third voice even in the team right now. So it must be super difficult for him. It was, at least at the beginning, when he just came back and to figure out his own individual form. So, overall, he has a lot of work to do still before he comes back into a decent form.
So you're saying Valorant's not the best trainer for CS? Is that...
Well, yeah, I mean, he was... The floor of the players has risen here, and especially, in relation to the level in Valorant as well. I feel like that's where he has experienced even more difficulties. But, hey, this is the game he's been playing for, a long time, for years and years, right? Like it's in his blood, so it's just about kind of getting up to speed to some of the things. And we've seen, like, with these experienced players, it's on LAN, it's like in games with crowds that they do their best work, right? That's where the floor kind of drops for some of these newer players, and it rises for the veterans.
Well, rising up to the occasion, I guess, will be us going into the vetoes right now for a best of 3. We just heard Heku talking about, a mutual map ban. Is there a crossover, Kasad?
Obviously, Nuke is not going to be there, and Vertigo ban from Liquid, which was kind of surprising. I expected Ancient to be there, but they went for Vertigo, and Dust 2 pick for players. That's, for me, like one of the weaker maps in my mind. Because
it's Liquid's pick.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. That was the Liquid's pick then. So that's kind of, I guess, expected. An overpass coming from players. Ooh. Also one of their strongest signature maps for them. So,
but they did lose yesterday.
I did expect Mirage to be in the first 2, to be quite honest with you, but they decided something else. I guess they have some plan in mind, and Ancient is going to be the first one out in the second stage of the veto from Liquid, which was expected. I don't think they wanted to play Ancient against players, and Mirage should be the one Inferno should be the one that's going out next.
So for this overpass pick, Yanko, I mean, they dropped this map to Godsend. For example, they dropped it on the back of what was a pretty rough CT side. Is that something they could play in today?
Yeah, it could. I was just curious to see what Liquid's ban is going to be, right? Because you would think it's going to be Ancient straight up, because it was initially their ban. But I wanted to see, they were willing to play Ancient in the groups here. So do they feel like actually it's better than some of the other maps? And they actually feel more comfortable on Ancient than they do on Vertigo. So that was interesting to see. And also for players to pick Overpass, like we know it's been their staple last year, especially in big games, in playoffs and whatnot. But Liquid was undefeated on Overpass until like December last year, right? Like, which is, low key. They didn't play it many times, but they were really, really good on the map. So maybe players feel like that with this new lineup, they probably didn't have as much time to play all the maps, so their level on Overpass shouldn't be as high to compete, be able to compete. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I feel like the basics, the foundation of that map, like you said, they played it really good, and the basics and the foundation should be there to at least make it competitive.
Yeah, it should all be there. All the fixins are there. We could talk about tomato, ketchup, pickles, whatever the hell you put on a sandwich. No one actually cares. Like, I just want to throw that out there. No one cares what you put on your sandwich. What I do care about is getting into this last best of 3 of this group. Players, Team Liquid, ready to square off on Nuke first. Or wait, that's not right.
Anders puts tuna on his sandwich.
Ugh. Anders puts tuna on his pizza. Ugh.
Yeah. Hell yes. We have to. Those of us who like tuna on pizza have to band together. We have to be proud and be strong. We're not gonna be shamed any longer.
I put mayo on every sandwich and Stunna.
Ace.
I'm gonna say it. I'm just going to say it.
Is a really good choice, Mari. I like it. I like this game as well. We're starting off on Dust 2, in fact. Easily confused by Nuke. I could see how Tatresk could make that mistake, but it is in fact Dust 2.
We're here. We're here in the B tunnels. Can't mistake this position for anywhere else on any other map in the history of Counter-Strike.
Whoa, they're not gonna wait. This is pretty straightforward, it feels like. Smoke has been set up. They put in a flashbang as well. I don't know why they're not running. I feel like, are they just expecting a peek? That's a very interesting way to approach this. But now, they're finally gonna go for it. Oh dear. Looking for one last headshot. Does he have it in him? 4 bullets left now. Just the one, and he's gonna get a chance to reload. Buying time. He swings for it. I would have loved to have seen him going for a little bit more there. That would have been fun. But still, he pretty much killed that round, and players will win the opening on Dust 2.
That was a unique opener for Liquid there, to try to throw what seemed to be almost fake flashes out and then try to reset that situation and just throw out one more. It's as if they think that players are suddenly going to stop playing anti-flash, that maybe they're going to swing out wide in the open, that'll catch them off, but not the case. Players just hold their setup as they should, and that little gimmick play doesn't quite work out the way Adren drew it up.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that can really happen, but you always wonder if you saw it a couple of more times, if we keep an eye on it, I bet Liquid will try that again. You usually don't walk away from a plan just because it didn't work the one time, right? So, could be cool to see. Up close with the MP9. There's a flashbang behind him somewhere, I think. So we'll see. Yep, he's going to turn for it, and it does have a lot of stopping power. It's a team kill in the middle of all of that, and Hobbit will get a couple of more on the board. So, that's a decent start for players right now.
Something to note now for the rest of the game. Naf's scoreline will have one less kill than he really does have. He's on -1. But good setup overall from players. I really do love to see in the second rounds here on Dust 2 for teams to, the defenses to focus on cat control. It's one of the only things that T's ever try to do is go up cat, try to find a plant. So meet it head on.
Yeah, don't give him the space. It's an easy place to get a bomb plant from. Oh, not really necessarily what he wanted to do there. Oh, Shiro pushing up at the top of mid to take down Shox. A play that Shox, by the way, himself way back in the day, talking about like 13, 14 type days, would do a lot. That push to top mid from the CT side with the AWP. So, blast from the past, really, if you're Shox on the receiving end.
Taste of his own medicine, 9 years late.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever it takes. It's going to be a third round here, and it's starting in a 4-on-4, basically. Upper dark control for Nafany. That's pretty big.
That is an interesting development in terms of the map control. Liquid does not look like they're going to be going back to B tunnels anytime soon. They're concentrating their efforts towards long. They still have a couple of smokes, so they'll be able to get across. But we can see that players are pretty set up for this. They have 3 guys on that A site, and they'll be able to meet this with a nice defense. They even have some counter flashes, and Shiro just goes for the swing.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's really obvious what is coming next right now. If you're on the defending side, you know, Shiro, he looks to be warmed up right now. I actually love the boost they did earlier to look over the smoke and deep into pit. I've noticed they've done that on a bunch of maps right now. They like boosting and double boosting inside of the smokes. Shiro's not missing anything right now. OC on the other side, normally also very reliable with that AWP, but all he has is the AK right now. 10 seconds on the clock, and I don't think they're going to allow him to get even the bomb plant here. Right on top, Nafany will take him down, and that's a very, very good hold. And obviously Shiro on the AW. It's not... We've had a couple of games in the last couple of days where he's been missing some of those shots, but today it's looking dangerous.
One thing to note is that given the stakes or the lack thereof of stakes in this game, Shiro is trying to develop a different and more aggressive playstyle. I actually talked to him about this at Katowice, how early on in the year, where he won an MVP medal at FunSpark, he was playing a much more aggressive style. He was trying to shed that narrative that he's just a very passive opper that doesn't ever go for openers, and they're integrating some things into his playbook. That was an example of him getting pretty flashy in the mid-round. And he actually pushed a bit at the beginning of that too.
I mean, now's a great time to practice that if you want. It would be very cool if you had 2 different gears to play in.
Yes.
You could sort of do it in the middle of a game, right? But
if you want to be the best in the world, you have to be versatile. Can't be too predictable.
He's taking a bit of damage already. They're pretty far back on the map. They're giving Liquid the catwalk this time. Probably not too worried since they have much, much better weaponry. Could have been a headshot, but not quite this time. There's not really anything I think Liquid can do in this round outside of landing some really cool headshots. It's kind of down to that.
They'll be looking for a plant as they make their way up catwalk. Can expect the close lurk smoke to come out and then a couple of flashes. Only problem for players is that Hobbit's the only one that's close to defend this. Okay, they actually go for the corner smoke.
Nice Molotov on top of everything else. They look warmed up right now on the CT side for sure.
Oh, the bomb is not been picked up by NAF. Well, either way, it's a nice cleanup from Axile, and that's a 4-0 start for players. Not using the close smoke, you could already see the disadvantages of that. They want to throw the what was called the Avangar one-way on the corner, but if you can't even get to the smoke, you can't use it.
Yeah, it's a prerequisite, isn't it? Back when Yanko was the coach of MIBR,
okay,
a lot of teams, especially that MIBR team, like to do this drop into CT from catwalk. Why don't we see that so much anymore, I wonder?
If you have the drop smoke ready, it's pretty good, but okay, wait. Oh, that angle's usually good for one. Wow, Elise just keeps pressing on forward.
I caught him.
I'm shocked no one's dead right now.
Yeah. That's so deep into middle. It does draw a bunch of people a little bit further back here, so they've managed to kind of mix the defense up a little bit. You can see Hobbit is now down here as well. He would have been playing up on that A site just 10 seconds ago. So there is an opening.
One thing to note about this round is look how early Liquid are on Cat. A minute, and they were here with a minute 20 left. That early fast smoke that they threw for Xbox, that's a nice little development in the Dust 2 meta. People that can throw that one consistently, that adds a lot in terms of your early map control. But they are just posturing. They haven't actually done anything at Cat with that space yet.
They're gonna go back to middle. Shox flashed in, looking for the opening. He had the right idea. He was even pre-aiming that box. But Hobbit just a little bit too quick. We're down to 35 seconds. They're going to be out middle. 3 of them running in Nitro and Upper Dark. So they're going to try and see if they can crunch that bomb side. But that peek through, just running through the smoke and then back again the other way, escaping. Nice opening for Nitro, but he's going to have to do a little bit more here. And Inters is just locked in that corner. Not much NAF could do it this round. The bomb is lost to him, and Axile will eventually shoot him at the back. So 5-0 is the start here for players. It is just looking very, very good right now.
You can see players are exercising a lot of freedoms in terms of the way they want to take contests in the mid-round. That jump up from Hobbit, the flash through on top of it, they're really upsetting Liquid before they can even get in motion on some of these plays. And that's something to worry about if you're Liquid, because you drill all the parts where you're getting the map control, where you're going through the execute, but those little transition periods that players are catching them in, those windows, that's where you're at your weakest.
Back to Deagles again, and the odd scout. Yeah, right now they have basically 5 kills on the T side. I guess one more if you count the -1 from NAF, but really 5 or 6 kills is what we're talking about. That's not that great stretched out across the first 5 rounds. So
no, 6 kills in 5 rounds is nothing to be happy about. For one, just you're not in the game and you're giving a lot of economy to the other team, but 2, you would just hope by now on Dust 2 you hit a couple shots out of nowhere. You know, feel the game out a little bit more.
Hard to, yeah, I mean, it explains a lot about how these rounds have been going, but hopefully that can change. Axile nearly getting caught out here. They had one flashbang to try and get out, and they probably wanted a kill behind it. Axile handling that very, very well. Probably a moment there where they could have picked him off. Eventually, NAF will get one more on board, but that'll also be the end of it. Wow, this is super one-sided, at least to start with.
Axile is such a devastating long player. Just plays the off angle here, that's a free kill, then waits for the flash perfectly, gets the spray transfer here. That's, man, you can't ask for anything more. That's just textbook. And players are looking incredibly strong. The protocols that they've shown thus far have been catching Liquid off guard. The flash support for each other, it's what you want to see from a well-polished team, and players are giving it.
On the bright side, man, we've got OC back on that AWP, and we've really been loving that. I think we've been on an adventure together, just enjoying OC's AWPing so far. It's been worth it.
OC has stolen, I'd say, the limelight a little bit away from how well Elige has been playing at Pro League thus far.
He has, yeah, that's true.
It's both of them that are contributing, and really, this is just, it's such a good feeling for North American fans right now that we have an opper, just period. We have an opper now. Like, we can be happy about this.
Yes.
It's just think of the op presence on teams that are supposed to be based in North America lately. there was Fallen, and there was Cirque. You know, you don't... you like when you see them succeed for a team like Liquid or Evil Geniuses, but there's something in the back of your mind saying, that's not really our homegrown talent.
Yeah, there's something missing there for sure, right? Obviously, ever since Skadoodle kind of went off and did other things, there's been a little bit of a gap in the space, that's for sure. Oh, talk about this drops. I was asking this weird question earlier. Why are we not doing this more? And they try it. They've isolated the B bomb site now. Double setup inside. Oh, what an opening though. Inter's instant headshot. He can't see a thing, and he's still getting the kills. OC comes in and shuts it down, and it can at least get a bomb plant. But man, they lost so much in the meantime. I can't believe Inter's got either of those kills.
Inter's was just perfect crosshair placement, tapping away, wall blind. There's not a lot Liquid can even do there. But OC's in a 1-on-3. He's holding the tunnel's angle. Axile likely to throw out a jiggle. So we'll see if that... Okay, it's a flash. That's even better setup.
So dead. Yeah, there's nothing you could really do about that. Tough times, but the main setup for it looked really, really good. It's a little bit unusual that they managed to get that nice of a defense in.
Inter's definitely overperformed.
Yeah.
By B anchor standards there. This is really nice. Tap, tap.
Yep, holding his hand in front of his eyes while he's doing it. It's a good angle.
The recoil of the AK would be pretty hard to control if you really shot it with just one arm.
Yeah, no one wants to do that. Listen, we have to return to this topic. It's 7-0 right now for players, and so far, again, in terms of the kills, it's looking a little bit great. They got 9 kills total in the first 7 rounds.
The kills per round, the stat is not getting too much better for Liquid, round by round. So that just says a lot that, for one, Liquid aren't even getting fair fights, because if you would imagine if there were a few more 50-50s in these rounds, Liquid would have, say, 5 or more kills, but it's the fact that players are suffocating them with these defenses, the flash assists between the defensive players, and the fact that Liquid can't even get into strong post-plant positions either. This was the first time they planted the bomb in the previous round, and that's also not a good sign for just how well the strategies are working for Liquid, or basically how well they aren't working.
Yeah, we're going to need to see a real change coming pretty soon. The money's also looking obviously very good on the side of players. That's kind of a side effect, I suppose, of not dying, not losing rounds. Tends to happen.
Everybody above 6,000.
Yeah.
That's, practically speaking, 2 buys in a row. So it will have to be 3 round victories in a row for Liquid to break the economy. Tough ask.
Nafi wants to see if he could sneak through. Oh, he's got that. Didn't even look like he was going to be favored in that fight at all. And Elige investigating. Wait, did he think he actually escaped? Nafi, he's still inside of that smoke. I think Elige thought, all right, I missed him. He's already out. That could blow open the whole round. They get Axile on long, but Elige is surely going to be very, very annoyed. He must have realized just in that moment what went wrong. They nearly catch Shiro, but it's still a 4 versus 3. Got OC coming up the middle, and they catch Shiro. That is a nice kill for Nitro.
That's not bad. That opens things up for Liquid. And OC, he's going to find his kill. Nafi dead in just a second. There we go. OC goes out for the swing, but Hobbit's holding the line already. That's very nice by Hobbit to keep things even. The HP, though, very in favor of players, and Inter finds the pushing Naf.
Yeah, he wanted to see if he could look for that one. Good headshot, but Hobbit is right underneath. And he is 14-4. That's a very close round. Down to 1 at the end. Definitely could have worked out, and definitely felt like they wanted to change the pace of this round a little bit more Liquid. So I can respect this attempt, but it's very frustrating that Nafi not only got away with the opening kill, but this little trick here.
It looked like Liquid uses the fast Xbox smoke once again to get Elige there. It's just that Shox needs to 100% be ready for that fight. You could justify having Elige throw an extra flash just to help out a player like Shox, but discussion for another time, something for Adren to go over. As he watches this back, Elige on the corner, flirting with the idea of going through that smoke, and he finds a headshot, but doesn't quite complete the kill. Now Shiro on the A site defense, he's good for 2 already, looking for more. Can't quite hit the flick on OC. Now they're scaling up. This is getting a little bit close for Shiro, but he still stands and holds, but Nitro finally takes him down.
Okay. One of the most successful rounds, and just based off of a really strong catwalk push with very limited weapons. Inters has lost his mind and is pushing through the smoke and or the fire. If it was smoke, at least it could be justified, but they were actual flames, and he burns alive. Now it's a one-on-one. OC and Nafany, he is all the way down in CT spawn, probably making OC sweat just a little bit now. How far do you go looking? He could easily plant the bomb, but he doesn't know that. I don't even blame him for going to check this out. He wants to find him. Oh, he's so deep in there just waiting. He's going to feel so red.
As soon as he pulls the knife out, that's where Nafany's holding the angle. Great positioning from him. Looks like we're going to get an update for how the other streams are looking, though. So this is what is going on between Godsent and Big right now on Nuke. We can see that it looks like Godsent, they're in the lead, and this was the map pick of Big. Come on, Big. I've contaminated the well already. That's how Yenko put it.
You really need them to step it up right now.
So many people pick Big to make it through in this group.
I don't know. I kind of understand it, though. They actually are a really interesting team right now, and especially with Crimbo on the lineup. You feel like a lot could really happen.
Yeah, but I'll cope a little bit and say it's okay that you don't do too well the first time you bring in a rookie.
Okay, that's the way out.
That's my way out.
All right. Elige and Shock still have not killed anyone yet. Either of them.
Incredibly concerning, of course.
If these were the ESCA main players that you normally yell at, Maui, what would you be yelling? Does it motivate them?
I don't fight people with yelling.
You don't yell? Right.
I don't do that. Right. Maybe I could have lasted longer.
You seem to have had a reputation, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
I obviously don't know, but, you know.
Say, come on, guys. Let's get your heads on straight.
Okay.
In the most just nice way possible, because I'm a nice guy.
There we go.
Where my hug at?
Trying to repair that reputation. I like it. I respect it. They're setting up these smokes on the ledge, and then those smokes are kind of being countered by Molotovs that land behind. Now Nafany is creating his own wall, so when they come through, if they do, and they realize, that's a good read for Liquid, they realize that is a suspicious smoke in front of them. They're trying to see if they can wrap around with Nitro jumping down, but they're just getting slaughtered in every which way. Seems like right now the CT side is just way too much in control of this game.
It almost feels like the smokes took so long to come out for Liquid that Nafany was able to counter smoke and reposition himself very adequately. There's actually, I'm not sure if Liquid are throwing the faster corner smoke right now. There's two ways to throw that. One way that lands on the corner. I think they're throwing the one that takes about 1.5 seconds longer than other teams do. So that might be the difference maker in what allowed Nafany to find that position.
1.5 seconds longer. You put it like that,
it makes a huge difference.
Doesn't sound like a lot, does it? But
right. Could be wrong. They could be using the fastest one, but
we'll have to go investigate. But yeah, in terms of the enemy side getting the Molotov out in time and slowing them down, and that buys even more time.
Yeah.
1.5 seconds is a long time. 11th round. Back to some pistols and that scout. Yeah, bomb still in upper dark. If they clear out catwalk, it's not unlikely they're going to go for something mid-oriented again. They're going to get blown up before they get there.
Okay. Got the crisscross smokes outside. But Nafany just stands right between them. That's usually supported by a flash for Nitro. But Inters, he's playing up close. There's a lot of pressure on him right now, and he just decides to sit in the smoke. He's so cool right now. Oh, man. He's not even worried at all about that situation. Lets them all go by, just spins through it, and little pirouette. 3 players dead on the Liquid side. Well done by Inters.
Yeah. We talked about him yesterday a bit, because I think you rightfully said that he get a little bit overlooked in this lineup, but he definitely has had some moments yesterday and today as well. Yeah, you're not in doubt of the skill that you're looking at. He just does get outshined a bit.
Just not in the positions to always succeed.
Very true. Okay, they're going to try and make their way out long. classic nades landing, especially that smoke from the T side that Nitro is standing right next to. They did throw some counter molotovs out players, but it didn't really stop Liquid. So they have some long control, and they've left OC in the middle in case players try to take map control on that part of the map. I think that makes sense.
Ooh, 1-0. And navi has full control of B tunnels. This is a very rough spot to be in again for Liquid. We saw this on an early gun round. They couldn't quite piece it together. The only saving grace is that OC might find a kill towards middle. That's just perfect timing from OC. But Hobbit gets one towards long. So the man advantage still sticks with players. In fact, they double up on it.
Yeah, finding that kill in the middle normally should be a big opening for you to get a little bit more done. Shiro, he tanks the first bullet and takes down OC in return. It's all on navi. And he's going to go down to Hobbit. Another triple kill for Hobbit right now, who is 20-5. So he's doing a fine job.
Oh, more than fine. More than fine. Hobbit is, he feels untouchable in a lot of ways. This is looking really grim for Liquid right now. Even when they just found this long space, usually this is a position where if the other team pressures you, you should be punishing, and yet players are just doing whatever they feel like in terms of taking the duels, and that's just, you got to be able to punish it, Liquid. That's actually what needs to happen.
Yeah, because they're getting into some of the foundational positions here seem all right. Trying to get through. navi finding himself in the corner. Shiro, he's been very confident so far. They're going to try and see if they can double jump him, and he still takes down navi. Trying to change the speed a little bit, trying to get the good flashbangs into the middle, but I don't think they did quite enough at the beginning. That opening grenade just didn't really catch navi nearly enough. So it's a 13-0 scoreline. Man, they're speed running this first half now.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever tried to do Counter-Strike speed runs, but players are giving it a little bit of a go here.
I think a couple people have, as content, tried to make it a thing, actually. Just play an MM game and see how fast they can win 16-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good concept. Maybe how fast you could get to global elites.
Oh, and Shiro's towards middle. The flash was good, though. That helped out. Man, Shiro just goes for the re-peek. That's got to be frustrating if you're a Liege. You are not feeling your scoreline at all, and usually, I really do feel like a Liege wouldn't expect Shiro to do that, but Shiro's just turned it up a gear. He's actually shifted into a more aggressive player in this sort of mid-round. It's scary. It's scary that he's doing this.
And you mentioned it earlier, sort of playing for seeding here and a little bit of cash on top. And I guess that's also that allows players to play maybe not like themselves at all.
Yeah.
And it can be very hard if Liquid come in expecting and having done research on a team that plays differently, and they're just kind of let loose a little bit. There's a huge opening. I mean, that double entry into the A bomb site, they get the bomb plant down. This surely is a one round.
Yeah. No way do I see players winning this one. No way.
Famous last words.
No way.
Okay.
Can't happen.
100%. All right.
This is a really tough retake, in all honesty.
Let's see. navi, oh well, called it. Exile, some very, very good clicking, but again, now he's just so far away, and OC will find a way to drop him. First round on the board for Liquid.
Well done, and Liquid do it with a contact play up the catwalk to find a double kill there. That's a different approach. Before, they've been telegraphing things with that lurk smoke, with the corner smoke, but this time they don't actually throw anything at all, and that catches players off guard. Do want to say, I actually look back at the VOD, Liquid have been throwing the faster corner smoke, so that shouldn't have been a problem for them.
Damn.
In terms of the timing.
You look back at the VOD in the middle of the game still going live.
Just to give them the credit that they deserve, that they're throwing the better smoke.
Respectable work, Maui. I like it. Well,
gotta just do justice.
It's good to know. It is good to know because I would even. Ooh.
Oh my goodness! Wow, devastating.
Oh, what's the call when that happens on a team? How do you react? Who makes the what kind of joke do you make at that moment?
You just act like it didn't happen.
Lie about how much damage you took if people ask.
It's okay, dude. I'm still at 100.
Yeah. It's just to keep.
Just keep morale up.
Yeah. Then,
in fact, I would just say, guys, just rub some dirt in it.
Exactly. And then let go of push to talk and cry a little bit, and then you can come back to the
Single
game.
tear rolls down cheek.
Oh no.
Oh man, they're just getting peppered.
Oh no.
They're getting chunked by these nades. It's not feeling too good to be Liquid right now. You haven't even seen an opponent, and you've got two guys near red.
Yeah. It's the experience that some teams have playing against a team like Big, or obviously Astralis at some points in time. Maybe Flusher, I think, had some of the most ridiculous utility damage of all time in some tournaments. So there are some teams and players that do a pretty good job of it. They seem to have found an opening though. They could build this into quite a bit. Maybe a quick bomb plant here. They're running through the flames, and because they were low already, they just can't find the space for it here. They can't really challenge the flames, and they had the opening, but that one Molotov really slowed them down. 20 seconds now, and it's a 3-on-2 when Shox goes down in the middle. Shiro, he's just at the lip of that bomb site, ready and waiting. He's so comfortable with that AWP. Amazing mechanical work for a 14-1 scoreline in favor of players.
This has been an excellent defense from players. They are looking to punch their way to that second seed in the group. We'll find out if they're able to close out map 1 after this.
Hey Future Pros, back on Dust 2, and this time to show you a smoke you can throw for your teammate to peek long, safe from any mollies to deny the area. To throw the smoke, get into this corner. Aim in the middle of this beam as shown, and simply jump through the smoke. This smoke will extinguish a CT molly and allow your teammate to still take the angle into long. Even if no molly is thrown, your teammate's vision will still be unobstructed by the smoke. Good luck, and maybe throw a flash or two just to help out.
Songs in a helpful hand, broken bones in a bloodstained flag, open road and nomadic plans. In a quiet town, bodies fall upon sacred ground. Burn a flag and a king is crowned. Coming to get you.
You ever had the experience, Maui, of studying for an exam and then you show up and you can't actually recognize almost any of the material somehow, and it's like all the test questions are just different from whatever you've been prepping for? I feel like that's what Liquid are experiencing right now.
I can say I have, and it has sucked. It hurt.
It's not fun.
No, all the work, all the prep, it's out the window because the teacher said no that day.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw you a curveball.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be funny. Teachers like that. And players are definitely playing, which, I mean, most noticeably, you mentioned this on Shiro. Like a different, more aggressive style.
Yeah. to go just one level deeper on that, when that happened to me, I had a mini panic attack, and I think Liquid might be in the same shoes right now.
Who can blame them? Who can blame them? Yeah, 14-1 scoreline. We don't need to break that down too much. That's pretty self-explanatory at this point. Seems like they're going to try and crunch that A-bomb site with Hobbit lurking long, 4 of them up on Catwalk. Very interested to see when or if Hobbit is going to be found, because the whole round could really change behind that.
Oh, Liege would like to get the second kill, but it's not going to happen here. Hobbit right there around the corner. At least there's a trade, though.
Yeah. That would have been huge if he could have opened it up, but they should be able to read the rest of this. You find the lurker out long, there's a push on Catwalk, you can kind of piece it together. Shiro, though, nice headshot. He's got that P250, he's going to keep going, taking down OC and Nitro. I was shocked that he cut that kill. Well done, Nitro. He was going to be dead no matter what, though. They were just 3 people around him, 15-1.
You could see the power of that corner smoke, though, right there. Shiro was just able to fight with the P250 around it, standing up, and Liquid could barely see him. You basically are just shooting at muzzle flashes when you're fighting someone here. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Shox couldn't see that at all until he was dead.
Just never play that position with the bomb.
This is
because it'll drop down.
That's absolutely true. But that's one of the coolest developments in the Dust 2 meta for a while, along with the fact that they changed the map, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of teams like that corner smoke.
Worth noting. Write it down if you're watching. Hobbit's taking a bit of damage. Good shot from OC, but that is a killer grenade, and Shiro behind it. 3 kills to wipe out the entire B side of the map. Oh, this is so one-sided. I don't think we've had a game in the group so far that's been like this.
Players are flexing a little bit in terms of how skilled they are. Liquid, the way you set it up, Anders, is perfect. This is just not the players that Liquid thought they were going to be facing today. There's a little bit more aggression, and Shiro gets the ace to close it out. How fitting is that?
It's absolutely perfect. Wow. We blazed through that first map. 16-1 victory. Definitely players coming in here with absolutely no restraints, just felt super comfortable. And Liquid, they've been watching a different version of this team, and they're probably a little bit shocked.
When your players and your foundation is that good, what's cool is that you know what the rules are, so much so that when you break them, you're doing it at the best and most opportune times. That's what we got from players there, and I am curious to hear what we've got coming up next. Looks like the desk will be breaking this one down, and so we will hear them after a break.
Well, it's not gone well, has it at all, Kassad? My God. I looked at that game and I thought surely we were going to have some sort of competition here. Looks like Liquid haven't quite figured out the .ready button. Once you type that, it actually goes live. Wildly enough, this one was off the rails, all things considered. You got to look at the players, and you got to congratulate them on that big, swift victory that almost resulted in a couple of Liquid players going 0 and whatever. Not good stuff here.
Elish not happy with that one. Obviously, I think this has to be like his worst map ever on LAN, like 0.06 rating.
Yikes.
1 and 17 for a guy who was ranked 5th for the whole tournament. I mean,
so we have been on the receiving end of this one a few times, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, doesn't feel the greatest, but you gotta laugh it off at some point, right?
Yeah,
it was like 16, 10, 16, 11, and you were like down like 16, like, you know, deaths and 1 kill and whatever, right? It just, that makes you frustrated, but it's like they just demolished you on the map and it didn't go well. You just laugh it off and just go into the next.
And you know, I think it all starts from square one, Yanko, or maybe even square 2 and 3. What do you think?
Yeah, let's get right into it because I think it all kicked off with this. So Liquid decides to, after the first round, they're just going to Glock Eco, right? They're going to buy in the third. Shiro has an MP9. He's playing close. He gets 2 kills with the MP9, I think 1 with the USP in the end, right? He has 5.4K. So what happens is he decides to drop the MP9 and just straight up buy the op, right? And this is super important because I think also if you've watched players play and you watch Shiro, like he tends to swap for the op here and then, but there's a lot of like talk about bonus rounds and how, you know, you should stick with the lower gun, right, with the weaker gun so that you can keep buying, and he completely demolished him. Like it's almost impossible to execute long if the CTs have an op and you don't have one, right? Like you can't get close, and you could tell he was playing way more aggressive. He just kept re-peeking because he knows without the bomb plants, with the buy that Liquid can have, there's no op on the other side, so he has full freedom to just roam around. And personally, I always hated it. Like if I'm up 3-0 as CT and I'm playing Dust and my opper stays on the scout and has 6K, I'm like, so, you know,
what's the point?
Just buy the op.
What happened? I'm trying to quantify the number right here at 1380.
At that point, it's 3-0. Their eco, it's 4-0. Then they try to go for a B split. The players are ready for it. Like another eco, it's 6-0, and that's when they're playing with
fair, right?
too much freedom.
It doesn't justify 14-1, right?
Okay.
I mean, when players play like this, obviously there is not much you can do. Pretty much, right? It's just the way it is. But what I want to see from Liquid, that I didn't see throughout the whole group, we did quite a few matches they played, it's like they always like stick to this default kind of style. They got a fair amount of long spawns, which they try to use, one of those that you explained, a couple of more after that, but they seem to like going into this default short execute, just very slow-ish kind of CS. I want them to change the pace a little bit. Throw a fast Xbox smoke, run with one person into it, just pop B, pop long, late pop long, like individual, like moving down the middle with an op, trying something super aggressive. Ugh. I saw it towards the end of the half, but it was already too far gone.
Kassad, I've seen a lot. I mean, the internet is a wild place, right? And I've seen a lot of gross stuff. But this is pretty disgusting.
And this is actually the correct graphic. The stats are correct on this.
Wow. These are aim high.
Those maps happen, Those maps happen. And it's good for Elish that it didn't happen in some sort of a playoff game or something crazy like that. It's just a seeding game. It doesn't feel good, but it
doesn't look good either.
It doesn't look good, but it's just one map. Nobody cares. They're just gonna go into overpass and try to reset. Elish is not a 16 years old player that's gonna be affected by this one too much. Coming into overpass.
Yeah, I think though. Listen, like yes, the match doesn't hold much weight, but like imagine that there's next map is 16-5, 16-6. The next time these two teams meet somewhere, who has the upper hand?
Oh, easily. Yeah, you think about that,
right? Like I think it matters in that sense, like in the matchup itself and just the confidence of the players playing against each other in the future, right? Like it's something you have to account for, and of course each team looks at it and you brush it off, and Liquid's gonna say, the game didn't mean, but can you really say that? I mean, you're out there, how you say it, like it's out on film, basically. You're putting that on a demo.
Oh yeah.
This is what you're showing, right, to the rest of the world. Really, it's not great.
Like I said, I was on the receiving end quite a few times against Astralix, for example. Simple. Like you as well.
We were in the same tournament. You played them in the final. I played them in the semi-final. We lost 16-0.
They had their way with you guys.
Power, right? And it's like we always, when something like this happens, we laugh it off. We got our, moments of tension when we lost some games, like the crucial games. But like this, it's just like, come on, just move along. You know?
Just kind of wipe it clean. Maybe go back and look at it. At 16-1, you might not be able to take a lot. I do like what you're saying there, and that sentiment that when they do play again, this can catch up with them, all things considered. You think about that.
Well, it's also for players, right? They're going to be like, yeah, let's just go, right? I mean, they were having fun with it. They were just playing way more loosely than they would
and
usually.
More aggressive than they usually do, especially on map like
so
that.
Maybe it will be like, hey, maybe we should like do this more often.
So, yeah, I mean, well, with the confines of what happened in map 1 and how comfortable they got, do we expect the same sort of pulverization on the second map?
Yeah, Overpass coming in, players, you know, pick that, and that's, like we said, their signature map in the past year. Then, especially on the T side, they were always known as that slow default, late finishers, and like always composed, and you know, always knew what to do on that kind of map. They dropped off a little bit towards the end of the year. We watched them a couple of times, me and Yanko, and I mean, with this kind of style, if they change it, like a little bit more aggression, I think they should.
None of that matters. The only thing that matters after map 1 like this is if Liquid gets off to a good start, they can weather the storm and they can compete against players. If players are up 5-0, again, it's going to be 16-3, 16-4, something like that.
And that is the rough reality of it all, ladies and gentlemen. We hate to tell you about it, but it's true. 16-1 in the first map, not the way of Liquid. Shoxy, not looking so much like Jesus these days. In fact, let's just go to a break. We can come back with Overpass, and potentially the end of the series overall.
Love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Choose nades, choose a smoke, choose a flashbang. Choose team badges to support your favourite CSGO team. Choose an ESEA Premium membership. Choose routes you know bring in wins. Choose pro video tips. Choose the fan club wars. Choose behind the scenes content. Choose good grades. Choose guns you know you can shoot right. Choose bingo. Choose the equipment you know is going to get your team the win thanks to heat maps. Choose the CSGO Hub Premium, the complete package to help you and your squad achieve all your CSGO goals.
All right, guys, great stuff. We spent a couple of hours in here, but we've really nutted out these storylines. ESL Pro League Season 15 is going to be a banger. These are some of the best storylines I think we've gotten. Harry, I love the content ideas. Alex, very narrative-driven. Heku, some good questions you're going to be asking a little bit later. But everyone, great stuff. Really enjoyed it. I want you guys right now to enjoy the rest of your day. Get on out there because we've worked hard on this, all right, guys? So great stuff. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. All right. Enjoy your day. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Have a good one. See you later, boys. See you later. Have a good time, guys. See you, guys. See you later, Heku.
Yeah, catch you.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Alex, get the lights.
Salve, amici.
Salve,
magistra. Sedete. Brothers of the Maledicto Scriptor, the curse of the casters is a burden we carry that we must treat with the utmost responsibility and care. Upon the words of the sacred text, any absolutes henceforth we deal will themselves be cursed and hexed as actions to repeal. Brother Russell, what is your curse?
For the good of all I shall bestow the LFO Flawless 5-0.
Brother Richardson, what is your curse?
I henceforth
Guys, have you seen my phone? Guys?
Heku, now's not a good time.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Like, we went for this storyline meeting, And I mean, G2, yeah, they have a substitute, but they just played in the grand finals of Katowice. They are going for playoffs.
Heku, you need to leave. Now is not the time.
And I mean, come on, Vitality? Okay, they didn't look that good in Katowice, but they had so much time to improve. They're locked in for playoffs.
Heku, we're super busy with a very important thing. We can talk about this later.
And really, we shouldn't even focus on Fnatic. They have like, what, 3 subs? 2 players from the academy? There's no way they're going through.
Heku, do you have any idea the damage you're dealing?
Heku, please, right now, everything you're saying has massive consequences that you can't fully appreciate.
Okay, guys, it's fine. It's fine. We can clean up this mess.
Clean up? You're not his maid.
Oh.
Oh, no!
Hey everybody, right now I am in the tournament area. Behind me I have Godsend against Big. I should not yell too loud because they are still in the middle of the game. They're playing Nuke right now and the rounds keep on going here and back. So if you want to check out this broadcast, you need to go to the ESL B stream. But if you want to keep on watching players against Liquid, then stay on this broadcast because we are ready to start the second map, which is going to be Overpass. Of course, our casters are Maui, Nick, and Anders.
Yes, thank you, Heku. I can't wait for this one. Surely they need a bit of revenge here, Maui. Liquid, they can't be satisfied with what happened on Dust 2. I think we've seen this many times before. A team will get beat up and then they kind of swing back. That's what I'm hoping for.
For a team like Liquid, there's no way that they're going to be blown out like that again. Simply speaking, they're going to focus up, they're going to lock in, and it's one of the worst feelings as a top-tier player to see your scoreline end up with 1 kill. And Elige is a guy that the Dust was talking about too. The fact that, I think Yanko said he had a 0.06 rating after that map. That's unheard of for Elige, and it's not happening again.
Strong words. I like it. Players are going to be starting on the T side, Liquid on the CT side. This is the second map in a best of 3. And I am so curious. I think Yanko said something important too about the start of this. And if you get off to a good roll here for Liquid, then you can forget about that first map pretty quickly. But yeah, goes the other way, then it might not be quite as easy. Pretty common setup here. I like this really grouped up around connector part, especially in pistol round, something Astralis used to do a lot, because if they go long instead, you're pretty close to rotating to that A-bomb side anyway. So you have a lot of flexibility playing around connector like this.
Middle does give you a lot of options in terms of your rotations, your retakes. The only problem is that Glocks can be pretty strong in close quarters. Nafany, though, oh, this is perfect timing from Shox.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have hurt him, too. Yeah, he definitely does. Okay. Oh, and that's the bomb. Oh, but Shox doesn't commit to the fight. Wow, Nafany might be feeling pretty lucky about staying alive, but Nitro, challenged by Inters and Axile, everybody's just pulling away from each other, but that pushes them right into Hobbit.
It was looking so good. Did he use the burst fire at the first one to take down OC? I can't believe that's so effective. Naf and Elige. They are in a 2-on-5, and they got the first kill right there. They need to do so much more. Now would be a good time to come up with some really strong headshots. He's trying to buy time to reload, but he just can't get it done. 1 versus 3 instead. Already used 1 smoke. Second one going to be going up, so Elige will never make it through on that one. And they are dug into this bomb site. I don't know how you're going to be doing this. Now you want them to play aggressive like they did on Dust 2. Now you'd love for them to challenge a little bit more. There's one of them. He's pushing forward, but he's out in the open, and they're going to peek him at the same time. It's players to start with a really good round. And it looked so good in the beginning of Liquid. They had so much information.
If Shox committed to that fight, that could have changed everything in that one. But it's one of those split-second decisions where you also just don't want to give your life up, and you're looking at your crosshair, not at the radar to find out where the bomb is. This was, wow, that's really nice from Hobbit. Naf right here did his best, but just couldn't quite put it all together. I mean, that was a tough hold. That was a tough ask to find a way back into that round.
Ooh, Scout is kind of pushing the limits. It's a really good grenade, but you want to be real careful about sticking around there for too long. No connection on that Scout shot, but I can respect it. I think this is not too bad. Naf was going to hunt him down eventually, so just walking the whole way. I don't think Naf had any real idea that that was coming, so a lot of speed again behind it. You could do that with the Mac 10, and I don't know, there should be no way to get back into this one for Liquid. Might even want to save the pistol into the armor here. Feels like you shouldn't go for this.
You just want to try this round again. There was a great timing from Nafany to catch Naf at the divider there, but next round that might not happen. And just keeping the pistols alive is a solid option for Liquid. It's a little bit worrying. It's just 2 rounds, but yeah. We haven't seen too many kills come out from Liquid, though. So I'm sticking by my prediction that they're going to do better in this map than they did on Dust. I think it's a very safe prediction, in fact.
Yeah, I mean I would agree. It kind of follows a template that we've seen many times in the past, where, especially at a high level of Counter-Strike, people tend to want to bounce back. It almost like it does motivate people a lot more.
OC could have got the Mac 10 for Naf, but that's okay. He was trained in on his crosshair. Can't blame him for that. And yeah, this is basically the entire round. That's
done.
That is the key moment.
Not that anyone did super well on the Liquid side on Dust 2, but OC did get a little bit more on the board. He had a little bit more of a say. So still having a really decent impact, even in a loss like that. So
that's a comforting sign for an up-and-coming player. Shiro just going to go for the wide swing on long. Yep, there it is. And Shox punishes him for it. That's nice to see. Fighting back. Don't give up space for free. But Nafany, again, hits a timing. Down connector this time. Upgrades his pistol. Opens the door. There's a crunch on water right now, but can't finish the kill on Nitro. There it is. Whoa. Okay, well, that was Hobbit that actually killed Naf from behind Nafany.
Yes, it was, but it looked like it was the Deagle right away. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, a lot of, again, the amount of aggression, even this kind of thing is not something you'd normally see other players. I think even in an anti-eco, they wouldn't normally do it because they are just so structured, right? For them to, they take that fight way before the minute mark. That's so uncommon.
Usually a player's T-side round ends or the bomb is planted with sub 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Sub 35. And they're playing with a little bit more pace here, more pep in their step.
What if someone was doing some armchair philosophy around this right now and saying, well, hold on. If this works so well for players, why don't they just play like this all the time, Maui? Like, what's up with that?
Well, a couple reasons why you wouldn't want to do that if you're players. Well, this is an incredibly small sample size, 1. 2, the way that Liquid might be approaching this game may be a little bit different for the fact that the stakes are kind of weird in this format. And 3, I mean, why would you change it if you attained a top spot in the world as a team that has such a defined style? It's cool to try this out and add it to your playbook for the future and have some confidence that, yeah, we've done this in an official before and it works, but you don't need to throw out your entire playbook and strategy and your game philosophy just because of one instance like this.
Yeah, the sample size especially, and it feels like if Liquid had been watching a demo yesterday where they played like this, they also could have maybe thought, all right, hey, wait a minute, they could be, just be aware they could be this aggressive. But the last game that they would have seen would have looked nothing like this, so.
Right. That's another thing, that this style that players is implementing, it works a lot better because they've never done it, and so their opponents aren't ready for it.
Well, they have had, I mean, now they have a whole map of warning. I guess the problem is you're not really necessarily sure what you're adjusting to, but at some point you almost would feel like it'd be cool to see Liquid also take the leash off and just say, okay, fine. If you're playing, you know, like this, then let's just try and be a little bit less structured ourselves, and let's swing for some more fights and maybe be a little bit more crazy like that.
Yeah, the thing is that players, they're bending the rules in their own system to make it more dynamic, more aggressive, faster. But the thing is that Liquid have no foundation for overpass yet. This is the first time that this 5-man lineup is playing an official on the map. So you can't just say, hey guys, let's be aggressive, but it's like, well, we want to get practice with the style that we've been doing in scrims.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go, Liquid. 2 opening kills. Axile's right there at short, though. Oh, he's going to be able to find a timing, but Elige is able to spin around, takes down Axile, and they shut it down. Okay, Liquid did a great job in this one. They might even find Shiro, too. That was through the smoke.
Nearly got him. But yeah, he's going to try and save throughout the round here. That's pretty well done. Elige, down on that ramp, you could see he was playing anti-flash. He was ready in case someone was coming, and he still managed to spin around and get the kill. So, job well done. Liquid on the board, 3-1. And Shock's contributing quite a bit, getting one of those opening kills, but also getting down through connector and helping. It's pretty good. Good movement.
Gotta say it. Elige already doing better than he did last game.
Yes.
It's low-hanging fruit, but it's actually a confidence booster for the NA Star. Just knowing that was just a one-off. That's not going to happen again. It's when it's months of that, but that you begin to worry.
Yeah.
Not just one map.
It can be very tough to return from having that kind of experience if it lasts for too long. But I agree, if you start pretty good here, I don't think he's going to worry too much about it either. Bomb dropped a little bit further back. This looks way more like the kind of opening that you normally see out of players. With bomb dropped, everyone kind of like taking up the early positions and waiting around to see if there's going to be a mistake from Liquid. Double setup on long for Liquid is just super interesting, but it does, they're really, really far away. If this turned into a fast B execute, they would be miles away.
It's a cool gamble to see from Liquid to play essentially a 3-2 defense. Enters. Will there be a flash? No, no flash. He just goes for the swing. Takes down Shocks, and Naf can't find the trade. That is not the procedure that Liquid would have expected from players. To just see a wide swing like that, and OC gets one, but Nafity's right there at the divider, and this becomes very awkward for Liquid. They have 2 players left. They don't really have any ground.
2-on-3. Nitro is quite far away, so this is really going to be up to Elige. The bomb is miles away, but oh no, the jumping shot. And Nafity bringing him down. That's pretty tough.
I'd like to see that one back in slow-mo. I think he might have been in the air.
It did look like it, didn't it? Out on loan like that, if they had thrown the flashbang, then presumably, yeah, Shocks could have been pop flashed, but then
Naf would have peeked up and taken the first contact.
Yeah, so that setup, and without that happens, the first contact is basically Shocks dying.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
And that's not even that strong of an angle, honestly. That close angle, it's right eye versus left eye, which is advantageous, but you're not, if they just swing on you, you have to track them, and they're swinging perpendicular to your hold, and that's one of the worst ways to get peeked in Counter-Strike, simply put.
It's it's not amazing, is it? And you can't necessarily escape from that position. So even sometimes if you get the opening kill, you could still be stuck there in a really awkward way.
Yep.
And that tree position that Naf is playing could be Molotov from over by the balloons anyways. There's a lot of ways to still lose even if you win out there.
I don't mind Liquid running that setup at all, though. I think it actually has a strong idea behind it, that you are just doing a heavier A lean because players really tend to like those A creeps in general. I think that's in the air.
I think so.
That's in the air.
They're doing that meme with the teddy bear that's like looking back and forth, right? Like, did anyone see that?
Yeah.
Oh, the nade stack. How many nades? 3 of them? A little bit not necessarily synchronized that well.
I wonder if they do that on purpose? Just offset it? No. Well, either way, it doesn't inflict any damage.
I feel like if you do it all at once, it obviously has, like, you're dead instantly on the other side. If they come a little bit segmented, it's psychologically much worse because you're like, okay, it was just, oh no, okay, like I almost lived, but not really. It's not good.
Yeah.
Look at this forward position for OC and Elige. That's a nice way to limit the map a little bit for the T side, surely.
See how Axile peeks this, jiggles right into it. Nice opener from OC. That's the Axile special, though. He loves going for those jiggles. If that's a rifle holding, Axile wins that fight so frequently. He can take almost every map in T-side defaults by just jiggling into every angle. His mechanics are that good. But not against an op.
Scary to play up against. There are some players like that. Elige just had the right idea. That might be even more painful when you saw it coming, you knew, and you were off by maybe a second on that timing. Shox is pushing down behind them. Inter's gonna pick up the bomb back here towards T spawn indeed, and we were down to 15 seconds. Oh, this is a little bit of an issue now. They're gonna get shut down. No way through. Nice throw and OC on the other side, and that looks more like again the kind of classic window of execute for players down towards 20 seconds, but it was just too much.
That was almost the most standard round players have run in terms of their usual playbook, and Liquid were able to hold it. That's probably around that almost Liquid expected when they were going over their prep. So good push from Shox, nice early proactive setup from OC, and I like to see the little confidence from Nitro coming out at the end, just going for that swing, going for the fight. You can tell that Liquid are warming up into the series.
They are. Definitely some improvements. Even looking at the scoreboard and everything else, they're keeping up pretty well. Boost to look over. That's where they would have loved to triple nade it, but they did it the last round. So opening kill goes the way of Liquid. Axile, he's deep in here towards the Elbin, and that's the
Axile special.
You talked about it.
Jiggle into every angle and get a headshot.
Hard to deal with. And they also got the kill on the second player right afterwards. So a little bit of trouble. Back into a 4-3 now, favoring the player's side. It looks like Elige might want to go through that smoke down the Monster Tunnel. And if he does and gets the information, maybe they can get out here and save OC in time. But they're still thinking about it. OC, that is a nice shot to take down Hobbit. And now they pushed outside of the B-bomb site. So are they going to be here in time is the big question.
Oh, that's real nice from Liquid. They're finding everything out across the map. They don't know how close Inters and nafi are, though, but the rotation from Elige should come in shortly. OC's holding a very passive line on the A site, and it actually won't spot anyone unless they decide to push past the APC. I don't think they're going to go for that. They're just going to go for the default plant. Naf's so close on the flank.
Almost catching Axile there. That would have been huge. 20 seconds. I started the fall back. They have them boxed in right now, Liquid. They have a really good shot at doing this, and Naf has decided to go long instead, which the way that they're set up, Inters has just spun around. Knife out, though. He has no idea about the timing. Oh, but he still gets the headshot running around the corner. If you're Naf, you spent, I don't know, 30 seconds running back through T-spawn to get to that position. You feel like you deserve just a little bit more than to just get swiped like that. nafi trying to go for a fairly insane flick, and it doesn't really work out. They lose Elige, and they lose the round to end with. That looked like an incredibly winnable round for Liquid.
That single Inters kill might have been the most impactful of the round.
Yeah.
Shox had such a nice flank, and we also saw that the other opping player from the T side was right there too. He could have maybe doubled up on frags if he gets that first one there. But good opener. Wow, just perfect clears actually from players there. And Liquid, they did a really good job in terms of trying to bring this back by going for those pushes, but it simply wasn't enough when Inters is able to just delete the flanking player.
Yeah, and you could tell he wasn't necessarily on his mind that someone was going to be there, but just had the raw reactions to make that work anyway. Yeah, I'll be worried about that triple boost. We've been seeing that more and more these days. I feel like it's sort of made a bit of a strange return. Shiro's walked up, scoped up already, and that's just an off angle you're not necessarily expecting an op to be in, but a good return, Shox.
It's a good trade. Okay. They're looking for the boost right there. Axile is so close at Monster. Hobbit. This is going to be a spray down for Hobbit. Let's see if he's able to control it. Yep. Gets 2, 3 kills. Does he find the 4th? Elige takes him down. 1 on 3. Elige does have an op. Probably just wants to save this one. Yeah, not gifted any kill immediately. You're just going to keep that one in the next round. They might go for a double op now, Liquid. Shox has the money to buy a second one. And it's clear that Liquid need to change something up. These gun rounds aren't working for them, and double op, we'll see if that's something they drilled, but nice way to shake up the formula.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of space for ops on this map. It might be almost go for a triple op on this map if you're feeling really crazy.
We even saw Godsent run double op on both A players. I think it was Doomau and Henny.
True.
Decided to go for that, and a lot of teams can make it work. That's the fun thing about Overpass with ops.
We knew that players were going to be strong on this map. We knew that Liquid necessarily don't know too much about it, so it's not unexpected that this is going to be favoring the players' side.
Yeah, it's a nice trade from Shox right here. Very swift.
Boom. Yeah,
it wasn't enough. Not too much to take away from that last round. And Liquid, they will be going for that double op.
Okay, Shox on the other one. Should put a smile on your face. I've seen Shox with some pretty crazy AWP highlights in the past, so he's got it in him. There's another attempt, just a double nade this time, but no one catching on the other side. Oh, see with this AWP down connector, doesn't really have any backup here.
Oh, and Anthony heard it. That's why they're moving towards long. They think long is available, but they don't know there's a double op. That actually just baited them perfectly. Anthony is he's wondering, didn't I hear the scope to my right? And he did. He definitely did. But that's just what Overpass is sometimes. You have to creep up, and unless you're going to use utility around every single corner, ops will simply find kills.
Yeah, that is such a cool moment. He tried to piece together a little bit of what the defense might have looked like and just got it slightly wrong. And that's all it takes. OC, though. Oh, he is so quick. It would have been completely fine. I mean, it would have been understandable if he would have died right off the bat there and didn't even get anything. But there's a lot to be said for just making yourself a player that is just always going to get one kill, even in some of the worst situations. That is a great quality to have if you can get it. Shox goes down, though, and it's another 3-on-3, and it looks a little bit like a round that we saw earlier, where Naf was flanking through T-spawn, but this time Nitro not going to go the long way around, wants to get a bit closer here. 15 seconds on the clock. They're leaving it very, very tight right now. Some more nades are raining in. Naf, though, with the opening kill to take down Intus, and Hobbit and Exile. If they win this round, it's almost too heartbreaking. Oh, coming in at a range there, and just no time to relocate for that bomb, so it is going to be a round for Liquid.
Not bad, not bad. A little bit tricky the way that they were able to start that one. The fact that Shox gets an op kill and he probably doesn't even know why he was peaked like this. But that's just not a peak Nafity would go for if he thinks there's an op.
Yeah.
So that's fortunate for Liquid in that round. It's going to be hard to make that kind of round sustainable, I will say, because players have just been doing such a good job at taking map control safely beyond what that round looked like.
If they win this round, Howie, there's no more cash on the player's side.
That's true.
It is surely all. The same gets obviously true.
Swing round.
Yeah. This has got to work out. Are they going to go for the boost to look over? Oh.
They want the double boost, but players are already past the point where this boost actually shows anything. So there's actually a chance Exile clears this from the back. He's actually looking at it. That is.
They made noise.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. They heard it.
That's